warm welcome to Super Screen's Midday News. I am Adinke Oweye Ajiboye. President Muhammadu Buhari has advised the leadership of the All Progressives Congress, APC, to avoid what he described as illegal maneuvers in picking the party's candidates ahead of the 2019 elections. President Buhari said this during the opening ceremony of the party's national caucus meeting held at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. The president said the time is right for APC to prepare itself for congresses at the wards, local governments, states, and the center, since INEC has come out with the timetable for the 2019 elections. He urged them to strictly follow the party's constitution in undertaking their elections by upholding internal democracy, avoiding shortcuts and illegal maneuvers, which, according to the president, is a cause of division in the party. The Independent National Electoral Commission INEC Chairman Mahmood Yakubu says the Commission is standing by its decision to hold the 2019 presidential and National Assembly elections on the same day, while the governorship and state legislative elections will come up next. The National Assembly opposed the sequence of the election and amended the Electoral Act such that the National Assembly election would hold first, while the presidential election would come last. The bill has since been transmitted to President Muhammadu Buhari for his assent. However, Yakubu said the Commission would continue to prepare for elections based on its own schedule because it cannot make plans based on speculations. And now talking security matters, the military says troops deployed to Yelwata in its ongoing exercise Ayem Apatuma, also known as Cat Race, have arrested 10 herdsmen destroying farmlands at Tise Tiger and Tise Odofo villages of Benue State. The Director, Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Texas Chiku, who discussed this in a statement, said the suspects fled into the bush when they sighted the troops but were chased and eventually arrested. Brigadier General Chiku said items recovered from the suspects are 5 motorcycles, 2 machetes, assorted charms, and 120,000 naira. He added that they have handed over all the deceased for the police for further investigation. The spokesman also said the army is determined to fish out criminals and recover weapons they use in killing innocent Nigerians. In a related development, the Nigerian army and the police force have exchanged words over their roles in the kidnapping of the 110 Dapchi girls from their secondary school in Yobe State. You will recall that the girls were kidnapped last week Monday after Boko Haram invaded Dapchi. In a statement made by the State Police Commissioner, Sumonu Abdul Maliki, he denied that the army fired the first salvo when it claimed it withdrew its officials from Dapchi only after it handed over the security of the community to the police. Meanwhile, spokesperson for the Nigerian Army in Maiduguri, Oyema Nwanchiku, said the soldiers were withdrawn from Dapchi on January 10, exactly 40 days before the attack and not a week before, as stated by Yobe State Governor Ibrahim Gaidam. Now, former Aviation Minister Stella Oduah has appeared before an Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC panel. Oduah was grilled for about 8 hours by detectives over 9,449,549,025 Kobo contract awarded to ISEC Security Nigeria Limited for the procurement and installation of security equipment in 22 airports across Nigeria. A United States-US firm, Cy Benedicts Limited, alleged that the former minister hijacked the project for a firm in which she has a stake. The allegations against her include non-execution of the project in some airports, abandonment of the contract, diversion of part of the contract, and suspected case of money laundering. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has urged the Federal High Court in Lagos not to unfreeze a Unity Bank account with a balance of 1,902,673,399 naira 93 kobo belonging to a business woman, Bola Ashagaya. The anti-graft agency, claimed that the 1.9 billion naira was the balance of a total of 3 billion naira, which Shagaya received as founder fees on behalf of an organization, Women for Change, being spearheaded by a former First Lady, Patience Jonathan. The EFCC claimed that the 3.3 billion naira was realized through Shagaya's fraudulent activities in the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, where she allegedly influenced the fraudulent allocation of dual purpose kerosene to Index Petrolub Africa Limited with the aid of former First Lady Patience Jonathan. And now experts in the health sector have called on the Nigeria Broadcasting Corporation, NBC, to sanction MultiChoice, owners of DSTV and GoTV, for promoting smoking among Nigerian youths through the Big Brother Nigeria reality show. The group is accusing the promoter of Big Brother Nigeria of violating the National Tobacco Control Act.
Reactions have continued to trail the excesses in the reality show Big Brother Nigeria, with different immoral scenes being displayed. Today, it is these experts in the health sector expressing disapproval over the recent smoking scenes in the ongoing Big Brother Nigeria show. They condemned the act, saying it will encourage young Nigerians to smoke. A cross-section of Nigerians had also expressed shock at the way smoking scenes were glamorized in the show with the theme Double Wahala.
Advertisement on this show means that they are endorsing cancer and they are endorsing the abuse of the rule of law in our country. We must not sacrifice public health on the altar of corporate greed. And it is just irresponsible for the country, the government, to continue to watch while one of the laws against the violation, against the promotion of smoking advertising is being violated, by other Nigerians.
They said despite moves to limit the ban on advertising, the tobacco industry continues exploiting every available opportunity to make their products to the youth.
Cigarettes are being placed in-house on this show. It's a flagrant violation of the National Tobacco Control Act, which has been in place for, this is almost 3 years now. So, it's all of us need to be very, very concerned about this.
We are calling on the relevant government institutions, most importantly the National Broadcasting Corporation, to immediately sanction the owners of DSTV and GoTV to stop using Big Brother Nigeria to promote smoking among our youths.
The group called on government at all levels and relevant agencies to begin enforcement of the 9 key provisions of National Tobacco Control Act that prohibits smoking in public places and bans sales of cigarettes in single sticks.
The federal government says the implementation of the new national minimum wage would commence in the third quarter of the year. The Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, who made the announcement, said the negotiation committee for the new minimum wage for workers had received memoranda for all stakeholders involved in the process. Ngige spoke at the 40th anniversary celebration of the Nigeria Labour Congress in Abuja. He said the economic situation of the country as of today is a hindrance to the government's willingness to speed up the implementation as it sought the cooperation of critical stakeholders. Early this month, the federal government had said it would prepare a supplementary budget to take care of workers' demand for increase in salaries when the new minimum wage proposal was eventually approved. The Rivers State Police Command has paraded one pastor, Chidebere Okorafor, for killing 3 persons in the state. The suspect, who is the pastor of Altar of Solution Church in Farm Oyigbo local government area of Rivers State, had allegedly killed one Ada Consilia Iziawa, Christabel Joseph Uluoma Owiagba, and an unborn child. Take a listen.
Speaking to journalists at the police headquarters in Rivers State, Deputy Commissioner of Police, Finance and Administration, Cypriel Bukuru, said the command began investigation into the alleged killings on December 11, 2017, where the victim's family reported the case of their disappearance to the police. The DCP also revealed that the pastor is said to have been in an amorous relationship with one of the deceased, Uloma Onweagba.
The pastor confessed to the commission of the said murder of all the deceased persons. Dwelling on the trust the deceased person had on him, he manipulated the 2 women on the said date of murder by first luring Ada Consilia Ezawa to an uncompleted building while telling the other deceased person to wait 3 poles away that he was coming to join her. She was suffocated with the wrapper she used in strapping the baby on her back. The baby was equally discovered dead. The suspect, in confirmation to his earlier confessional statements, took the detectives to the various scenes and reconstructed the act of how he snuffed lives out of his victims. Autopsy has been carried out on all the corpses, confirming the cause of death.
The accused pastor, Chidebere Okorafor, admitted to the crime, but pleaded for forgiveness from the families of the deceased.
I'm sorry for the killing the deaths of these people, and I want to be forgiven because it did not happen intentionally. I want the families to have mercy.
Mention the
family of Oloma and the family of Mr. Joseph.
The families of the deceased had called for justice to be served over the death of their loved ones when the suspect was arrested at Oyigbo Divisional Police Headquarters.
The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAM, has asked parents of candidates sitting for the 2018 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination to stay away from computer-based centers. The JAMB Registrar, Ishak Oloide, who discussed this in Abuja while monitoring the mock UTME at the Kogo and Veritas University CBT centers, said that some parents had formed the habit of hanging around the centers to engage in examination malpractices. Oloide urged the UTME candidates to desist from cheating during the examination, saying the board would monitor all the computers to be used. He also said that all electronic devices as phones, headsets, flash drives and other items such as wristwatches and calculators should not be brought in as they remained banned. If you've just joined us, you're still watching Silver Screen News at 12. I will take a short break here to bring you business news. Do stay. Many thanks for staying with us. Now in business news, Minister of Finance Kemi Adeosun has met with a delegation from the China Development Bank to discuss areas where the lender could be of assistance to the country. The meeting, which took place at the headquarters of the Finance Ministry, was attended by the Permanent Secretary at the Ministry, Mahmoud Dutsen, and top officials of the China Development Bank, led by its Vice Chairman and President Cheng Jinji. Adeosun, while addressing the bank officials, said the federal government was working hard to reposition the economy by addressing the infrastructure gap. The minister also described the bank as an important partner to galvanize the needed funds for Nigeria in key sectors of the economy, such as power, rail, and roads. In a related development, the Minister of Finance, Kemi Adeosun, has identified the regular payment of taxes by Nigerians as fundamental to the growth and development of the nation's economy. Adeosun media advisor Oluyinka Akintunde said if the economy is to record tremendous growth, the low level of tax compliance by Nigerians must be addressed. She said the federal government is mindful of more reason it provided an amnesty window for tax defaulters to come forward to settle their outstanding tax obligations without being prosecuted. The minister said the amnesty program being implemented through the Voluntary Assets and Income Declaration Scheme (VADE) would end by March 31st this year. The VADE, which commenced on July 1, 2017, provides an opportunity for taxpayers in the country to voluntarily and declare their assets and incomes before the deadline. The federal government says it has invested enormous resources in the establishments of some agencies and therefore deserves to get return of investment from the concerned agencies. The federal government disclosed this in a new document titled Operating Surplus Calculation Template, which was prepared by the Fiscal Responsibility Commission in collaboration with the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation in Abuja on Monday. In the document, the federal government also claimed that the mopping of unspent funds from the ministries, departments and agencies at the end of a financial year by the OAGF is not scientific, and thus the need for the adoption of payment of operating surpluses by the MDAs. The Fiscal Responsibility Commission Act 2007 requires listed government agencies to remit 80% of their annual operating surpluses to the Consolidated Revenue Fund. And that's it in business news. We'll take another short break to bring you more news from the foreign scene and sports. Stay with us. So glad to have you back now in international scene. The armed school officer who was called a coward by President Donald Trump has the